Hello everyone, how are you doing? Welcome to an algebra video tutorial learning about how to multiply a binomial and a trinomial together. Alright, so we've already kind of done some multiplying. Hopefully you're getting some good practice at multiplying binomials. You're going to see that actually when I multiply a binomial and a trinomial, it's a really similar process. So here's my binomial. I got 2a minus 7, two terms. And I'm going to multiply that by a squared minus 5a plus 6. Here's my three terms for a trinomial. Now, one thing I need to keep in mind is if I have two terms over here, so there's two terms, and I'm multiplying it by a polynomial with three terms, I can expect that if each of these terms multiplies by each of these terms, I'm going to end up with 6 different multiplication things to keep track of. We're going to see that as we use the distributive property here, but use the number of terms to your advantage. If we're multiplying two binomials, 2 times 2 means I have 4 things to keep track of. But here we have a binomial and a trinomial. 2 times 3 means there's 6 things to keep track of. All right, let's start with the 2a. This 2a needs to multiply each of the 3 terms in the other polynomial. So we're going to have 2a times a squared. So I'm going to write that out here. 2a is going to multiply by a squared. All right, next that 2a is going to multiply by the negative 5a. So we've got plus. This time I'm going to go ahead and change everything from plus to negative, because sometimes that helps just keep better track of it all. So we've still got plus, but now I've got the 2a being multiplied by negative 5a. All right, now I've got the 2a also multiplies by that 6. So plus 2a times the 6. There we go. There's 3 things because this one term multiplied by each of these 3 terms. But I'm not done, right? Now I've got my negative 7. It's got to get multiplied by everything. So let's take that negative 7, and we're going to draw my little arrows down here this time, but we got plus negative 7 times a squared plus negative 7 times negative 5a Whoa, I'm running out of room here. And finally, plus negative 7 times 6. And hopefully I didn't trip you out. I was using color coding. This negative 5a should be in blue just to kind of make it match up and look pretty. There we go. So you can see there's my 2a's all distributed to the a squared minus 5a plus 6. And there's my negative 7's all distributed to the a squared minus 5a plus 6. So we've distributed, and look, we ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things that we have to multiply and simplify out, just like we knew we would. All right, let's go ahead and simplify this out. Let's multiply my terms together. 2a times a squared is going to be 2a to the third, plus 2a times negative 5a is going to be negative 10a squared, plus 2a times 6 is going to be 12a, plus negative 7 times a squared is negative 7a squared, plus negative 7 times negative 5 is going to be positive 35a, and at the very end we have plus 7 times 6 is going to be negative 42. There we go, we simplified things out. Now let's see, do you guys see any like terms that we need to combine? Well, let's start with my biggest power. So 2a cubed, 2a to the third power. I don't see any other terms with a to the third power, so I'm going to write that down as my first term. Now let's look at the next largest, that's squared. I have negative 10a squared, and I have a negative 7a squared. And those are my only terms with a squareds. So those combine to make minus 17a squared. They're both negative, so they both end up being negative 17. Let's go to the a's. A to the first power, 12a plus 35. 12 plus 35 is going to be 47, so that's plus 47a. And my last term, I'm not seeing anything else, is just the negative 42. So we got minus 42. All right, hopefully that's a helpful example for you of doing a binomial and a trinomial and really understanding what is happening when we're multiplying polynomials together. And we just have to keep sure that every term in one polynomial is multiplying by every term in another polynomial. I use the distributive property, drawing my little arrows to help me see that I'm getting each term multiplied out.